Welcome to the 2016 WBAI Annual Judicial Reception. We have a record number of judges attending tonight from all levels of both our state and federal courts. If I could just ask my fellow circuit court judges to wave so you can be recognized. If I could also ask all of the appellate court justices, just wave to be recognized. If I could ask all of the federal court judges to wave as well. Tonight we are here to honor your contributions to the bench together with all our honorees. We also have our Supreme Court justices here tonight. We have Justice Ann Burke. We have Justice Thomas Kilbride. I believe we also have Justice Charles Freeman and Justice Lloyd Carmeier. We also have a record-breaking number of presiding judges here tonight, starting with Chief Judge Timothy Evans, Judge Moshe Jacobius from Chancery, Judge James Flannery from Law Division, Judge Patricia Banks from Elderly Law and Miscellaneous Remedies, Judge Mary Ellen Coughlin from Probate, Judge Michael Tuman from Juvenile, Judge Sophia Hall from Juvenile Justice and Child Protection, Judge Ken Wright from 1st Municipal District, Judge Shelley Sutker-Dermer from 2nd Municipal District, Judge Cheryl Ingram from 4th District, Judge Marjorie Laws from 6th District. Thank you so much for sharing this evening with us tonight. Before I give you a brief background of the Mary Heftel-Houghton Award, I just want to acknowledge all of our officers, board members, co-chairs. If you could just wave so be recognized. Women's bar officers, board members, committee co-chairs. And of course, I'd like to recognize our executive director, Monique Austin. Monique. I'd also like to acknowledge all of our past presidents. If you could wave to be recognized as well. Okay, I also want to acknowledge our judicial reception co-chairs, Jennifer Ehrman, Melanie Overloop, Liv Kaiser, and Chloe Pedersen. Our award committee co-chairs, Deanna Blair and Judge Lisa Marino. I'd also like to acknowledge all of the bar presidents. We have the ISBA board president. I see Umberto who's not even listening. We have the executive director for the Chicago Bar Association, Terry Murphy. We have the president of the Decalogue, Deidre Bauman. We have the president of the Cook County Bar Association, Arlene Coleman. DuPage Association of Women Lawyers, Riley. President, I would be remiss not to acknowledge the president of the Illinois Judges Association. I think Judge Izzy Zierto is here. And the president of the Illinois Bar Foundation is here as well. Please give them all a big round of applause. Tonight, we will be bestowing the Mary Heftel-Houghton Award to 4 distinguished judges. By way of background, if I could just have your attention, I know, we're gonna keep this program short, but if you could just give us your attention. Thank you so much. Judge Mary Reardon Heftel-Houghton was a Cook County Circuit Court judge who won her election in 1976 as an independent. Why an independent, you might ask? She ran here in Cook County, and as you know, very Democratic here, because although she and her husband were very politically active, she was told by the Democratic Party that because she's a woman, she could not win an election. So she ran anyway, won the top place on the ballot in a court-ordered lottery, and was elected handily. Judge Hooten sat on the bench for 16 years and served in the juvenile court, housing court, and was also a supervising judge of contracts and torts in the 1st Municipal District. After her death, then Chief Judge Harry Comberford said this about Judge Hooten: "She was a unique lady who combined with compassion and caring with justice. She had priorities and believed in them 100%, never swerving. Indeed, she was very passionate about kids that she and her husband took custody of 20 kids and fostered 9 of them over a 20-year period. These were kids who were victims of broken homes, neglect, and abuse. Judge Mary Heftel Hooten served as president of the Women's Bar Association of Illinois in 1976 and in 1979. Before I turn over the mic to Melanie, Chief Judge Evans would like to speak. Chief?
Thank you very much, Jessica, for that very kind and generous introduction. I simply wanted to congratulate all of our winners of this award. I had a chance to know the person who is named as the bearer of these awards, and I just wanted to congratulate particularly our judges who serve in Cook County. Patrice Ball Reed has one of the most challenging assignments in the domestic violence arena, and she has worked hard to reach this particular point, and I'd just like to have you give her a great round of applause. She does a great job. As I was coming up, somebody was importuning me to make sure she was available for another division, so I have to talk to her about that. I also wanted to congratulate Presiding Judge Ken Wright. Judge Wright is responsible for the largest division that we have, the 1st Municipal District, and he's done a fantastic job there. But if you don't know it, he was the one who came up with the idea of making court convenient for people who had difficulty getting there during working hours. He has a hearing that starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and another hearing that starts at 5 o'clock. Would you mind giving Judge Ken Wright a great round of applause? I appreciate it. And certainly, Presiding Judge Grace Dickler. I talked a little bit, Grace Dickler has been a judge since 1988 and has been the presiding judge over 2 divisions, both the domestic violence division and domestic relations. So you can give her another great round of applause. And before I give up the lecture podium here, I want to congratulate Chief Judge Ruben Castillo. When Ruben was first named by President Clinton, he set the bar very, very high for all of us, and the first Latino to come to the district court. And at that time, he was a young, dashing young man. Since he became chief judge, he's beginning to look more like me. Let's give him another great round of applause. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Our first Mary Heftel Hooten Award recipient is the Honorable Patrice Ball-Reed, Associate Judge in the Domestic Violence Division, Civil Section, and the Elder Law and Miscellaneous Remedies Division of the Circuit Court of Cook County. The theme of the 2015-2016 Women's Bar Year is Leave No Woman Behind, Empowering Through Leadership. The Honorable Patrice Ball-Reed has embodied that message and that theme for her entire career. First as a lawyer and now as a judge. Judge Ball-Reed has mentored young female lawyers, advising them to take action and plan for the future. Judge Ball-Reed has said, don't sit and hope success will happen. Define your goals and be prepared to make changes. Success will come about. Success will not come about if you just wait for things to happen to you. Judge Ball-Reed is a leader in the Chicago legal community. She is a past president of the John Marshall Alumni Association, a past president of the Women's Bar Association, and a founding member and past president of the Black Women's Lawyers Association of Greater Chicago. Please join me in congratulating our first Mary Heffel-Houghton Award recipient of 2016, the Honorable Patrice Ball-Reed.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, you get to give it to me? Okay, thank you so much. This is very nice. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I really appreciate everyone that has come here tonight. Congratulations to the other awardees. Thank you to Judge Jessica O'Brien, the officers and the board for nominating me for this award and choosing such a diverse group to get this award with me today. Thank you to the committee for doing such a fantastic job and presenting such a great evening. I've been a member of the Women's Bar for over 20 years, so I've seen many people get this award, so I'm truly honored and humbled to receive this award, and I thank you all for being here tonight.
Good evening. Our next Mary Heffel-Houghton Award winner is Judge Ruben Castillo. I want to tell you a couple things about Judge Castillo. Consistent with our theme of equal access to justice, during his tenure as vice chair of the Sentencing Commission, to which he was appointed by Governor Bill Clinton, Judge Castillo persuasively argued the stiffer penalties for possession, sale, and manufacture of crack cocaine versus powder cocaine disproportionately and adversely affected African Americans who were more likely to be crack cocaine offenders rather than powder cocaine offenders. Ultimately, the Supreme Court ruled that judges may deviate from the strict sentencing guidelines that were developed during the war on drugs by eliminating mandatory minimums and allowing courts discretion to determine an appropriate sentence. Awesome. Judge Castillo is the Chief Judge for the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. He was mentioned as a possible candidate for the Supreme Court of the United States during the first term of the Obama administration and may yet be mentioned again. Alexander Hamilton stated that, quote, "the first duty of society is justice." As Judge Castillo himself stated, this is an important quote, so listen to this. During his confirmation hearings, quote, "In my career, I have had the privilege of serving various clients from all walks of life, from some of the corporate 100 organizations to individuals who had literally no assets. And I have always enjoyed the role of being the advocate for those clients, but I really came to a conclusion that I would like to have only one client from now on, and that client being justice per se, and that is why I want to be a federal district court judge." Please join me in congratulating Judge Castillo, who serves his client justice well.
Thank you. I want to thank all my fellow judges for being here, all my friends, all the lawyers in the room. This is totally unexpected. I want to thank my fellow awardees. It's a great slate to be on. I think Judge Evans has always considered me an honorary Cook County circuit court judge, because I started, believe it or not, as a deputy clerk for Morgan Finley back in 1976 when Judge Hooten was elected, and she was a real inspiration. So to get an award in her name really means a lot. I really accept this award on behalf of my dear late mother, who raised a son who really believes in gender and race diversity. I think we're going to see exciting things over at the courthouse this year. I want to advertise, in particular, our Woman as Lead Counsel program that is coming up on April 21st. I hope you all sign up for that. It's already an oversubscribed program, and I see Stephanie Sharp here. And I'll tell you, the leadership at our court is really remarkable. All I had to do is put that program in the hands of Judge St. Eve and Judge Sharon Johnson Coleman, and the rest was magic. And I think you're going to be hearing things about gender equality at the courthouse from the big to the small. And so you're going to hear that we're going to create a nursing room for the first time at the courthouse. So I look forward to making all these announcements, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have the privilege of introducing another judge who's all about equal access to justice. Judge Grace G. Dickler is the presiding judge of the Cook County Domestic Relations Division. She was appointed in 2011, and she has spearheaded justice for all in her courtroom, from presiding over famous divorces where billionaires' assets are at stake, to spearheading an initiative for incarcerated individuals to help them reconnect with their children and deal with their own domestic issues. Judge Dickler is the epitome of a judge that is focused on giving everyone a fair day in court and giving them an opportunity to be heard. Governor Roy Barnes said, "The law should be a shield for the weak and the powerless." This is echoed in Judge Dickler's own words, who said, and I quote, "No job is more important in our division than ensuring that the children of divorce are protected." We thank Judge Dickler for her long tenure, and please join me in congratulating her for the recipient of the next Mary Heftel Hooten Award.
Hi, everyone. I know why you're here. You're here to party. So I'm going to keep this very brief, but I really would be remiss in not congratulating my co-awardees, whom I've known for a long time, and they all deserve this award very much. My chief judge, who's always supportive and has innovative and wonderful ideas, and again, makes us all look proud. My staff, my daughter, my brother, who are all here to support me. The judges of the Domestic Relations Division, who are the hardest working, best judges in the whole wide world. The other judges on the circuit court who make it fun for me to come to work every day. I'm really blessed. I love my job. I love the attorneys that appear before me. I know they have a terribly difficult job, and they do it with grace and thinking about the best interests of the families that they represent. I'm also totally impressed to be chosen for this award by the Women's Bar. We all know what the Women's Bar has done for women in the profession, and also to be and also I would be remiss in not mentioning the presidents of the leadership of the Women's Bar Association, the past presidents, two of whom are in my division, and the current Judge O'Brien, who has an incredible amount of energy and has all these great ideas that she's implemented to take this organization to an even higher level. So thank you all. I really, really am honored to be the recipient of this award.
Our last award recipient tonight is the Honorable E. Kenneth Wright, Jr., presiding judge of the 1st Municipal District of Cook County. Now, Judge Wright just pulled me aside and he asked me to keep this very brief, and I don't think I could do a better job saying anything better about Judge Wright than what the Chief Judge has already said about him. So I would like everyone to congratulate me and welcoming our last Mary Heffel Hooten Award recipient to the stage, the Honorable E. Kenneth Wright, Jr.
Good evening. I want you all to quiet just a little bit. I want you to hear this because I do not want you to tweet this tomorrow and get it all wrong. I want to say it right tonight. First, I want to thank the Women's Bar. It's such a pleasure to be around such wonderful women. I love it. Thank you. Secondly, I want to thank our president, President Jessica O'Brien, who sometimes she's my boss, sometimes I'm hers. Today she's mine. She's such a great friend. And the reason I'm accepting this award is because she made me do it. I want to thank Chief Judge Evans for the kind words he said and for his support of me. But I got to tell you how this came about. A couple of us judges were in my office one day as we were talking, and just President O'Brien came in and told me that I was receiving the award. And I said, no, not me. Not me, that's not mine. Please, why can't we have Chief Judge Evans get this award? She said, well, as she whispered to me, she said, Judge Evans has received the award once. I said, well, how can a man who's done so much for women, diversity, and the circuit court not have at least 2 awards? She said, I agree with you, but we still can only give him 1. I want to tell you that I've had fun. I'm having fun working for the Bar Association. And I will do it all again and put more effort to it if you want me. I would put my resources, my money, and my time with the Women's Bar if you let me. But one thing I'll ask you. My mother said once, your job here on earth is to serve, not to be served. And she said, be careful not to confuse those two. Tonight it appears that I've confused those two. I'm being served rather than serving. But I'll ask you one thing as I tell you that I will work hard if you ask me to, and that is, please, no more awards. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank our presenters this evening, Harry Sandrowski, Bob Clifford, Megan Harmon, and William Conlon. This concludes our program this evening. Please save the date for our annual installation dinner on May 12th, which will be making Adria Mossing the president of the Women's Bar. And if you haven't renewed or joined the Women's Bar, please do that today. Thank you. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Women's Bar Association of Illinois. Thank you for coming and joining us. We are honoring judges this evening, and tonight we have Judge Patrice Ball-Reed. Judge Reed, are you happy to have this award for this evening?
Most definitely. I have been a member of the Women's Bar Association for over 20 years, and I've seen fantastic, wonderful judges step up and receive this award, so I am humbled and honored to receive this award at this point in time.
And like the woman who this is named after, she's done some maverick things. Are you still interested in doing maverick things in the community?
Of course, I believe that we have to make a difference, and as what the Women's Bar has a luncheon called Rise Up and Reach Back, I believe that we all have to do that, rise up and reach back for somebody else that's less fortunate and needs some help that's behind us.
Did you ever think when you were a little girl growing up on the West Side that you'd wake up one morning and be a judge also on the West Side?
You know, when I was very young, I didn't think about that, but as time passed, I met many judges who were doing great things, and I got to know this thing. I think that's what I wanted to do, and since I've done it, I've been excited about it, and hopefully I'm making a difference for somebody.
I hope you continue to make a difference. Thank you very much, and congratulations
Thank
for
you
this
so much
evening's
for interviewing
award.
me this evening. Okay.
Welcome. We have another one of tonight's honorees, Judge Castillo, who is here to be honored by the Women's Bar Association of Illinois. Congratulations on your honor, and we're so glad to have you. Please tell me what this award means to you.
Well, it's very moving to get this award named in honor of Judge Hooten. She was innovative, a real spirit, and it really puts, I believe, an obligation on me to try and follow her model for gender equality over at the federal courthouse.
You have done some amazing things, and I too am a Loyola grad, so I'm very proud of that. But you've also stayed very close to the community. You have a phenomenal back history. Could you share a little bit of that with us?
Well, I like to say I grew up on the West Side and never left Chicago. I am a Catholic school product, went to Loyola, and then Northwestern Law School. And I like to remember where I grew up. I mean, my dad still lives on the West Side, so I'm a Chicago product all the way through.
You are a true inspiration, as was the woman before you, who this is named after. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your honor for this evening.
Well, thank you very much to the Women's Bar and to Judge O'Brien. I feel like I don't deserve this honor, but I'm really, really moved to obtain this honor, and I'm really accepting it in memory of my mom tonight.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello, Your Honor, and good evening. Thank you so very much for being here with us this evening.
The pleasure is all mine.
And congratulations on receiving this honor and this award this evening. What does this award mean to you?
It means a lot to me. It really does. I think that since the Women's Bar Association started over 100 years ago, it has done so much to be able to advance women to the point where we're at today. And I'm especially proud of the job that the presidents have done, that the leadership, the past presidents, the current one. I really don't think we would be where we are at as women if it were not for this organization. And I'm especially proud and honored to be receiving this Judge Hooten's award because I had the honor of knowing her.
Oh, really?
Not well, but everyone that I ask about her, they say that she had so much energy, that she was so interested in helping other women, that she was really a proponent of the sisterhood, and that a lot of the reason why we're where we are today has to do with her. Also, they talked about how she sparkled in her sense of humor. I'm very, very honored to receive this award.
So it's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On your
Thank you
honor.
very much.
Have a good evening. Judge Wright, congratulations on your honor this evening.
Thank you.
We are very proud of you, and we are very glad for you being here this evening. Could you share with us some of your ideas or your feelings as to why it's exciting to accept this award?
First, it's the first award I've accepted over the last 4 years.
Wow.
And I'm so happy to have this award and to have the women give it to me. That's what's so happy, to be surrounded with all these women. I love it.
God.
Thank you.
And you happen to have known Judge Honor during the time you were coming up through your legal career.
Yes.
What are some of your impressions about her?
She was a very stern kind of person, but very fair. I remember her, she used to sit in 1404. And I remember going before her during that period of time. Small, petite woman with white hair, very distinguished looking woman as she was. I enjoyed appearing before her, didn't know her very well, but I knew this clerk who did know her very well, and they were in the same precinct, But I found her to be a lovely woman.
And you seem to have had some of her characteristics of being a trailblazer in your career. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I was president of Chicago Bar Association.
Yes.
And that I'm so happy about that part. And I'm running now for the Board of Governors for the ISBA at this point. And so that election is coming up in April.
And you've always been very dedicated about educating and mentoring kids into the profession of the law, right?
Yes, matter of fact, I organized a corporation called Kindergarten Scholars for kindergarten kids, where we go out in the South Side and collect information, collect clothing. We send clothing to the South Side school. We mentor them. We also send computers. We don't call them computers, it's something like a Facebook.
PBAs.
What do you call them? PBAs? That thing. We bought 36 with the help of Robert Clifford and Larry Rogers Sr. Several others who helped me put together that money.
So you are staying true to her vision of advocating for women and children.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on your honor this evening, and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, and we're here now with Judge Jessica O'Brien, who's the president of the Women's Bar Association of Illinois. Thank you so much for having this wonderful event.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So glad you could join us.
It has been an amazing event. Please tell us why you did this event, why this event is so important to the Women's Bar.
Well, we actually have this event every year, and every year it continues to grow. We have started in the 80s, we were at the Chicago Bar Association, and we've moved to different locations, and now this is the biggest crowd that we've ever had. It's important that our members are getting to know the members of the judiciary, and so this is one of our biggest events. It's the second one next to our annual dinner.
Absolutely. And as you say, it keeps getting bigger each and every year.
Yes.
And you've had so much support from other bar associations, other judges, justices. It's been a gamut of people all over. Tell us, how does that make you feel, that you have all this response?
Well, first of all, it was a lot of pressure on my part because being a judge, I had to make sure that I brought the crowd in, and my fellow judges did really come and join us. But really, the biggest part is that because we had great honorees who have really contributed a whole lot to the legal community as well as the community at large.
Absolutely. You have been a stickler about women, mentorship, leadership, as well as being progressive in the law. What are some of you? I know your term is coming to an end soon.
98 days.
You're not counting or anything, are you?
98 days and probably 97 now.
Okay. Tell me some of the highlights as to why this was so important for you to do.
Well, it's very special being a part of this now as president of the Women's Bar Association of Illinois and being a judge of the Circuit Court of Cook County. It was very important to me because when we do our annual judicial reception, we honor Judge Mary Heftel-Houghton, and I don't know if you heard me speak because it was hard to be heard in different places here tonight, but she was really an inspiration to us. And you know, what I can kind of relate with her because when she ran in 1976, she was told that you're a woman and you'll never win.
From the Democratic
Party, and it was the same way with me. I was told to wait my turn, and I ran and I won. And so this event is a very special event to me because I can relate to her experiences and how far we've gone since 1976. I mean, it's hard to beat a woman nowadays, quite frankly.
Yes, it is.
I think we're going to rule.
You always rule. You always work on issues of diversity and education for not only young lawyers but all families. What is next for you? I know you've done a lot. You've dedicated your whole year with this. Now what are you going to do?
I am going to rest. I'm
For
going
10
to take
minutes.
a vacation. I do have other positions. I have many hats that I wear. I am a board of governors with the Illinois State Bar Association. I'm a board of trustee with the John Marshall Law School.
Yes.
So those are my responsibilities, other responsibilities that I have to focus on after my term as a president of the Women's Bar. And hopefully, I mean, I feel good that I believe that I've contributed to the betterment of this organization.
Not only the betterment of this organization, but also the Filipino community. You are the first woman to be a judge from the Filipino community.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Which is also earth-breaking, history-breaking, and they're very proud of you. Everywhere I go, they're like, my friend Jessica. So,
Well, thank you for saying that. You know, it's just when we get to our position, hopefully that many will come. It's a big pressure whenever you have the first. People think, oh, it's great, but quite frankly, it comes with a responsibility.
Agreed.
Responsibility to do well. I mean,
Absolutely.
after I was installed on June 4th last year, before my Chief Judge Evans left, the first thing he said to me was, you got a lot of pressure. Number one, you're the first Asian, and you also are a member of the judiciary. You got to make us proud. And of course, he's very supportive in my presiding, so it's been tough, but at the same time, it's been great because they've been very supportive.
well, I'll be the first to say that you've met the challenge amazingly
Yes.
with a
Thank
lot of
you.
grace in class. We really appreciate that, and we hope that it will continue on.
It will. It will. We have
Okay.
great women on our board and great leaders to come, and we've had to follow and emulate great presidents before us. So we have to just keep the momentum and build on what we have accomplished each year. So that's what I was trying to accomplish this year, is that build on what the past presidents had established for me. And I think that
I think you've
Pretty
done a knockout job with that, and I think that the next president has a big old challenge ahead of her. But
and
thank
she
you.
will meet that challenge.
And she will meet the challenge, of course, with your training.
Yeah, right.
And-
She doesn't need any training, but she will meet it. Yes.
And
thank
so
you.
we're very proud of having
Thank
you
you.
here, and this
Thank
has been
you.
a wonderful event.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting us
Good to
again. Thank you very much. We're here with the co-chair of tonight's event, and she's going to share some of her insights with you about tonight's event. Ms. Vanderloop, why is it so important to have this event, especially with the Women's Bar Association of Illinois?
Well, I think it's important because the Women's Bar Association message for this year is empowering women through leadership. And we have this event and we honor judges who really represent diversity in the community, and the award recipients have all come from diverse backgrounds, and they've been judges for so many years, and they embody our message of empowering women through leadership. And that's why it's important to have this event. It's named after a wonderful judge who was a past president of the Women's Bar Association, Mary Heffelhooten, and because of that, we think this event is so special to so many judges in this state.
And so many members of the Women's Bar Association.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of young women judges here this evening,
Yes.
as well as men, who are very active in your organization.
Yes.
What are some of the things that we can look forward to seeing with the Women's Bar?
Well, for the Women's Bar, we have a new president who's coming in June. And every year when we have a new president, they take from what the last president has done and they build on it. So we celebrated our 100th anniversary 2 years ago,
Wow.
the century for the Women's Bar Association. And we've been building on that legacy for the last 2 years, and we're going to continue to build on that legacy for next year. But we have wonderful events that we're going to be having in the years to come. So it just, we keep building and we keep supporting each other as female lawyers, and that's what it's all about, is supporting each other, empowering each other, and just making this organization the best that it can be.
And with the honorees that you had here tonight, you have made a very big difference in law and how people see the judiciary. So it's pretty phenomenal how you guys make this work.
Thank you, and I agree with you. I think that the honorees were just so important this year, and they've done so much in the community. All of them have been mentors. All of them have given back to the community with scholarships, with community service, with different projects that they have championed in the organization and in the community. So that's why they're the honorees tonight, and that's why it's been so important to have them.
Wonderful. Well, wonderful success. It was a wonderful event.
Thank you.
Continued success with the Women's Bar Association of Illinois.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay.